Bingo, we're back. With Robbie Melton here on Think Tech Tech Talks. We're talking about technology in Hawaii and especially about the High Tech Development Corporation, with which I have been associated, oh my goodness, since 2001. How about that? Ooh,
That's a long time ago.
Yeah. Thanks for coming down, Robbie.
Oh, it's my pleasure to be here.
Yeah. We want to get a handle on all the things you're doing. I'm doing a lot of things, and want to get updated on what's going on. So let's call this Update on HTDC.
Okay, 2.0.
2.0. We're in interesting times. We had one kind of rush toward technology back in the Ariyoshi days, and then we had another rush toward technology in the 2000s, and now I think it's fair to say we're having a third rush toward technology, and it's all on your watch. It's happening now. Am I right?
I think it's better than it was in the previous years because it's not just a rush, but there's a new vibe in technology because I was here when there was that second rush of technology, and it was just on the cusp and sort of growing, but this is like exploding. So there's so many different entities of the accelerators are out there, our incubators are thriving. Our MIC is at 100%. There are lots of events going on. We just had Verge conference on energy.
You were a sponsor on Verge, weren't you?
We were a partner.
Partner,
We were
better
a partner
yet.
for that, for the accelerator pitches for Verge. Maker Faire, we were a major
That was
sponsor.
last Saturday. We were there with our cameras walking around and enjoying the gestalt of it. It was fabulous. There was so much energy, and those people, especially the kids, were so excited that you knew that Hawaii has a special affinity for this kind, Maker Faire. Yeah.
Oh, it's terrific because, technology can happen anywhere now. And it's so great that Hawaii's got a real commitment to technology. You see it in the makers. So Kauai Makers came over, the Maui Makers
We
came
saw them,
over.
we filmed them, yeah.
Yeah, I love the Maui Makers. They had that robotic hand.
Yeah,
Did
wasn't
you
that
see
something?
that?
I saw that, yeah.
And all 3D printed.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah, piece
amazing.
by piece. Or was it, no, it couldn't have been one unit.
No, it was piece by
Piece by
piece, but
piece.
then they put in the chips and everything to make it operate.
Yeah, it was really impressive.
It was really, really impressive.
Yeah, well, the neighbor islands is very important to have this. I think it's very important to them, and they do well at it. I mean,
Yes.
they're kind of very highly motivated, don't you think?
Yeah, I think the neighbor islands, people move to the neighbor islands because it's a little bit slower pace of life, but the tech people still need stuff to do.
Yeah.
And so we actually started a neighbor island innovation initiative where we have business mentors on Hawaii Island and on Kauai. And both of them are very busy. In the 4 or 5 months that we've been operational, they've mentored 32 companies. We've had events on both islands. And then on Maui, we already have our Innovate Hawaii program, and we have our incubator there. So we are doing a lot of work on on the islands.
It's very important. I mean, because it's, when you incubate like that, when you help, when you mentor, there's an extension of it. You're mentoring one person, you're incubating one company, but a lot of people hear about it and see about it. Coconut wireless, right? The word gets out, and it influences a lot of people, excites a lot of kids when they see what's going on. And I really feel that there's always a huge leverage when you do that.
Oh, definitely. We actually started a Kohana co-working space on Maui.
Did you say Kohana?
It's Kohana.
I thought you said Kohana.
It is Kohana.
This is Robbie Melton. She found a great term. It's your term, isn't it? I know it is. And what is a Kohana exactly?
So Kohana is a co-work space. So we knocked out a few walls in our MRTC. We jazzed it up, painted it bright, brought in, all the flexible furniture, and we gave free Fridays. So anybody could come every Friday for free and work. And that's become this budding community. So they have events there. They do, pauhanas, but it's every day there's people there. It's full and it's vibrant and it's exciting.
Yeah.
It helps that the brewery is right across the street. So Maui Brewing Company is across the street.
Part of it.
Yeah, I mean, techies want to have fun. They don't want to work.
Well, they want leverage, don't you think? They want to have a good quality of life. And part of that, I mean, it's sort of a synergistic thing. Good quality of life means a good quality of intellectual life, and creativity is such an important part of intellectual life that if they can have all that together, it's really finding the right way. It's finding nirvana for their age and place in the community. So this is really creating, the last few years, it hasn't been that long, 2-3 years, I would say.
Yeah.
You know, you get all this new energy, and these new millennials are finding a spot, aren't they? And they're finding about creativity, they're finding about collaboration, and they are very loving, actually. They care about each other, they help each other. Isn't that true?
That's very true, but I think it's not just the millennials, it's everybody of all ages.
Okay,
It's amazing.
I'll go with that.
Yes, yes.
You
So
can
we have
look at
people.
Think Tech, we got that. It's in the air, it's everywhere
It is
here.
totally, because because you've got the people who are retired that are still thriving, still creative, they're driving force, you know, creating new things too, because, you know, they're still active.
So could it be
So-
we're establishing a new kind of society, a new kind of culture here, a new kind of way of doing things, a new thing for Hawaii?
I think there is a new culture because it's not just tech, but also innovation. So you have like Creative Industries Division. They just did several different labs on workshops on animation, doing direct TV. So not direct TV, but not cable. Yeah, internet TV.
This is Georgia Skinner?
This is Georgia Skinner's group. They've done a number of other types of workshops to really bring and hone in the talent in that. So you see other types of creativity and not just the technology, but also more into the media as well.
Yeah. So let's talk about wetware. That's one of my
Okay.
favorite things you do. Tell me about wetware. How's it doing?
Oh, we're in our 5th year. So we're
Time
we're
flies.
celebrating our 5th anniversary in a couple of months. This Wednesday, we are going to be having another Wetware Wednesday celebrating 3 companies that have graduated from our MIC incubator. So we have the Cut Collective. They've just moved out, and
Fashion.
Yeah.
I met them. We did a show about them.
Yeah,
Maybe
you
2.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're a fashion incubator within our incubator, and they've grown so much. They've helped so many other designers become famous that they wanted to move out and have their own showcase and their own showroom. So they're manufacturing
That's great.
and working in
That's
Ward
a success
Warehouse.
for you.
Oh, that's huge.
Oh, yeah, I saw it when they did Fashion Week a couple of years ago. We went down, and they had a space in Ward Warehouse. I don't know if it's the same space or different.
Yeah.
But it was impressive because everybody came around. They had all these people, all kinds of trades come around to support the fashion industry. Yeah.
So they're moving there. We also have a company called Slippage, and they do a lot of web development and web hosting, and they are moving downtown. They've
Good
gotten
place
a
for
number of employees, so they're downtown to be close to their clients. And then we also have Meeting Sift, which everybody's heard
Everybody
of.
knows Meeting Sift. yeah.
Everybody does, because
We worked with them at the very beginning. In fact, they sat in that chair way back a couple of years ago when nobody knew anything about them. And suffice to say, that show was viral. And our efforts to help them, really helped. And they are all over
Yeah,
town.
they are.
They're national, as a matter of fact.
Yes.
Good product.
Yeah, so they've actually grown. They've gotten investment, so they're moving out of the incubator. Actually, they've already left. So it's exciting to see people the companies when they grow and mature and don't need us anymore.
Yeah, that's great. So
Yeah.
it is a celebration, mutual
Yes.
celebration.
Yes, so we will be celebrating in Ward Warehouse.
What time?
At the Cut Collective from 6 to 8 p.m.
On what day?
tomorrow, Wednesday.
Oh, okay, you heard it here. Go down, check it out. It's important, and it's wet.
Yes.
So this takes me, the whole discussion about fashion takes me to the manufacturing thing. Hawaii hasn't had a manufacturing industry, well, since the muumuu went out a long time ago, but you're trying to bring it back. What's going on?
So we are very fortunate because we have a lot of legislators that support the manufacturing industry. Even though it's a small component of our economy, we have quite a few small manufacturers here. And last year in 2015, the legislature passed a law to provide us to do a grant to all manufacturers. $2 million we got. So when we launched this March, we had 69 companies, manufacturers apply.
You got the word out pretty good.
Yeah, we did. We worked a lot for a whole year, and we had $2 million to deploy. I think we gave the funding to 41 companies, and it's to expand their business so they can buy equipment, or they can upgrade their equipment so that it's more energy efficient. They can use the money to train their employees, or they can actually do a feasibility study to determine how they should manufacture here in Hawaii or if they should manufacture elsewhere.
It's a great idea. It's a great program. So this is a program that should continue, will it?
Yes, it will. So we were fortunate. This year we got $1 million to continue the program. So every year we have to go back and ask for money. But I think this year alone shows the need for such a program. So I think I'm hoping the legislators will hear about it and realize what a significant impact it has.
Yeah, and it's like the other thing. If you do it for one company, everybody else sees it and hears it, and then people get the idea, yes, we can do manufacturing. There's no reason why we can't. And we become more competitive. We have another industry aside from tourism, and all those dreams of, the first and second iterations of tech interest now, are more likely to be realized because we have manufacturing.
Exactly, and then we also got funding for an SBIR program. So we currently had one just to help those in the very beginning stages of their product development. But by expanding, we got also $2 million to help companies in what they call phase 2, which was when they're getting ready to get out of the prototype stage, but really get into manufacturing. So this money will help them get to that point of manufacturing, and then they can come in and get money from the manufacturing grant after they develop their product.
This is great. You got great programs going on. What about the Sandbox? Tell me about this. I need to know about the Sandbox because I like This is a Sandbox here, Robbie.
Oh, it's a great playroom. Every day you come in here and play. It's fantastic. So the Sandbox is really for everybody of all ages. We call it the Entrepreneur Sandbox, and it's just that. It's a playroom. We got $3 million in funding from the state to match money that we already have from federal government and private sector. It will be in Kakaako. It will have a maker space in there, a big one, so people can come in and learn how to use all the tools, the 3D printing. And then also we're going to have a digital media studio. And Georgia Skinner, her creative industries division, will run that studio to teach people how to do videos, gaming, animation, editing, all the
That's
types
great.
of production.
We need that in Hawaii.
Yes, we're so excited. And it also have collaboration space. So it'll be a meeting place
Kohana.
where people can come. Yeah,
Thank
another
you.
Kohana space. Definitely. So
All
we're
right.
excited about that.
This is going to be good, and it's that part of Kakaako that we really care about. We do not care about the tall buildings with the $100 million penthouses. We care about what you're doing with the Sandbox and otherwise down there, and hopefully that can remain a significant presence in Kakaako. Yeah.
Yes, I think it's going to be one of the first of its kind, not only in Hawaii, but I think in the U.S., where people of all ages will be welcome to come. So it's not just for companies, it's not just for adults. So we're looking from, young kids all the way up to seniors can come and learn how to develop their craft.
What better way to spend your time? What better way to look into your future? That's Robbie Melton. She's the chief executive, the chief, CEO of the High Tech Development Corporation. You can't write her. It's CEO at HTDC.org. Yeah.
Robbie at HTDC.
Robbie, sorry. Well, okay.
Robbie at HTDC.
Yeah, okay, Robbie. She's very modest. Robbie at HTDC.org about all their programs. And we're going to take a short break now. We'll come back and talk about how this fits in the largest scheme of things and what we can see going forward. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Patrick Bratton. I'm the host of Global Connections. I'm also a professor at Hawaii Pacific University, and my show and some of the other things that we do shows off the collaboration that we have between Think Tech Hawaii and Hawaii Pacific University. So I look forward to seeing you and talking with you about a lot of issues dealing with Hawaii, the United States, and the world. Thank you very much.
Aloha, I'm Chantal Seville, host of the Savvy Chick Show on Think Tech Hawaii. Now we are on a mission to help young women and girls achieve their dreams and looking forward to sharing with you one episode a month where a young woman or a girl will share her dream or ultimate goal with you and hope that we can all get together behind her to achieve that goal. Look forward to seeing you there.
Aloha! Hey, Gives Me Tech here on Think Tech Hawaii with my favorite show, Hibachi Talk. Every Friday from 1 to 1:30 p.m. Please join us with my good old buddy, Gordo the Tech Czar and Andrew the Security Guy. And remember, let your wing gang free wherever you be. How you doing? Aloha!
We're back. We're live. We're here with Robbie Melton. That's Robbie at HTDC.org, and you can write to her. And can she?
Yeah, of course.
And find out about all the programs going on, and they're really exciting. So how do you see Kakaako, you know, Sandbox and otherwise, as a future, you know, home for tech, a home for innovation, a home for maker people? How's that going to work?
How is it? I think it's already working. If you go down, you see all the murals painted, and that sort of helps the vibe. You've got the food trucks over where Fisherman's
That's an
Wharf
important
used to
thing,
be. Yeah,
yeah.
you have to have the vibe and the energy and the excitement. And every third Saturday is, you know, they have, I forgot what it is, a Kakaako night market is there.
Night market, they call it.
Yeah, night market. So it's a great place to go and hang out. They do a fashion show every Saturday there. So that's just sort of feeding into the Sandbox. So I think then the Sandbox will bring more energy, and then the other buildings, if we get the innovation block going, I think that's going to be more creative because there's some other great plans going for that.
So how do you see the industry? This is not an easy question. How do you see the industry evolving from this point forward? I mean, clearly we have a lot of indications of interest, legislative interest, which is something, you know, I think you built, to your credit, you built that interest over the past few years. But how do you know, and we see kids coming around, even young kids, and young kids get older, and they get smarter, and they do more stuff. And so how do you see it evolving in the state, from where it is now to where hopefully it will go?
Well, I think it's going to continue to explode. Again, DBED got money to build another cable landing site for broadband.
This is very important.
This is critical because we cannot have an innovation economy unless we have the right broadband. So we need high-speed capacity. It's got to be affordable and accessible to everybody.
Yeah.
So that's the key. So I think that's going to help mobilize everybody so that people in the neighbor islands have access to, you know, internet. So the HSDC did a pilot project with the GVS accelerator, the FTZ, I think it's 10 gig broadband. So they're showing how different and how interactive we can be with the rest of the world by having such capacity.
Yeah.
So with that, I think things will just explode. The thing that we have to be careful of and work with the legislature still is to get rid of the hindrances that bog us down, like regulatory, looking at the permitting, looking at business practices, looking at our tax structure. All of those things also play into it. So those are things that we're going to need to work on to really make this happen.
Inherent in that, do I hear the sound of a tax credit for tech?
No,
I thought you'd say that.
no, no, you know I don't
You don't
say
think
that.
we need it?
I think there are different ways that we can look at the tax structure and how things are done. But we need to do a thorough analysis of it. You know, tax credits have a bad name, but I think certain tax credits could work. But I think there are alternatives to that.
Yeah.
And so that's what we need to really
Which
look
do
at.
require government action.
Right.
Because you want
Right.
to change the direction of the economy, the government has to be involved in some way.
Right.
Has to find a way to give the nod, as they say, that, you know, this is a good thing, we encourage you to do this, we will be supportive in some way. And then people tend to come around when that happens.
Right, and I think the private sector really helps that because they're the ones that really have to lobby to say, this is what we need, this is what we want. Because legislators want to serve their constituents. They just need to know what that is that they need to do.
Yeah, and you have to tell them.
Yes.
Now, one thing you mentioned a little while ago was this company, I forget the name, who was coming downtown, one of your graduates there at your graduation. Slippage. Coming downtown, going to open an office on Bishop Street. This is very important because I think, that if there is an office for a tech development coding company on Bishop Street, that means they're part of the fabric of Bishop Street. It means that the businesses on Bishop Street be more likely to use them because they're right there. and it helps to go have a meeting, whatnot, you know. Secondly, it seems to me that a lot of these big companies, including the banks, have never really considered local coders, never really considered local software companies, but they should. And you know, the way you raise all boats is you do local, you buy local, you buy coding local, you know, because then the coders have a job,
Right.
and they get better at it. Next time around, they're gonna be more sophisticated. The more we do with local coders, the better. So I think having a business on Bishop Street is a really critical move, and it should happen again and again.
Yeah, that's very true. We also, I don't know that you know, Hawaii got designated as a tech hire hub by President Obama in March. And it's part of a national coalition of regions that want to provide training for coders to help develop the talent pool by accelerated training. So DevLeague, for instance, they do a boot camp, 12-week. There's another company, ACTT, that does a 15-month program that does more sophisticated training in the area of national security and
There's
defense
plenty of work in the military for
Oh,
that,
yeah, definitely. And so we're partnering with these different training organizations to help spur a greater and a larger tech workforce,
Yeah.
because that's really missing right now in Hawaii.
A couple of weeks ago, we had a show about a new company, which I don't know if you know about. It's called the Condo app. The Condo
Oh, yeah?
app.
Uh-huh.
And a bunch of guys just had the idea that condos had a lot of, you know, data. Condos have data. There's a lot of people there, a lot of apartments, whatnot. And therefore, there's got to be some kind of app would be helpful. You know, in the old days when apps first came out, I think we all said apps, you know, do a real program. Forget about apps, that's for kids. But now it's different. Apps are really important. Apps are major programs, and they go like viral. They're everywhere and about everything, and you can really make some money if you score it. But you can score it if you're smart. These guys, they don't do the coding themselves. They have other people here, and maybe in Silicon Valley, do the coding for them. They go door to door and sell this condo app program to condos, and they're able to do that. And you know the reason I mention it is because Hawaii has special situations. Condo living is one of them. This was the natural that we should become expert at designing condo apps. But the other one, which maybe you can talk about, you know, some of the entries in the field, is hotels, hospitality. Tons of data, accounting, whatnot. And if we can find a group of people that can program for them and get them to buy local, we could be the best, you know, destination resort programming, you know, industry in the world. We have the infrastructure. All we got to do is meet the demand. Yeah.
Right. So that's the thing. There are a number of companies out in Hawaii developing different types of apps for the tourist industry, the hotels, and it's just a matter of finding the right one that meets the needs of the tourists, because everybody has different needs. So that's one thing. So it's not a one app fits all.
Oh,
you
no.
need many apps to fit all. And Blue
Even
Star-
competitive apps is okay.
Oh yeah, you want competitive apps. So Blue Startups actually did a focus for a while on apps that were related to the tourist and travel industry.
Good. Oh, in one of their cohorts.
Yeah, one of their cohorts.
And you work with them all the time. Blue
Oh,
Planet, yeah.
definitely. We work with them, the Energy Accelerator, Accelerate UH, GVS Accelerator.
Well, let's talk about energy for a minute. You know, I mean, Verge and all those people from, there were 700 people there, and half of them were from offshore, and half of them were local, learning from each other, important connections being made, technologies being rolled out. It was good to see that Hawaii is of interest to people on the mainland who want to develop and sell new technologies to energy-rich environment, clean energy-rich environments. And so I'd like to know where that fits in your portfolio of mentorship, your portfolio of support energy, because I think we could be great in energy software.
Oh, we definitely are great in energy software.
You always say,
you know?
okay, all right.
Well, we
okay.
are. I mean, as you know, I'm very pro innovation here in Hawaii, but we have the Energy Accelerator that's been doing it for quite a while, where they're bringing in companies, training them up to be the next generation of successful energy companies. And you know, we have HCAT, which is actually funded by the Air Force to develop 100% renewable energy microgrid. It's the first of its kind, because otherwise, usually there's lots of different other energy sources that get into a microgrid. So we have that, and so we're very supportive of that.
Lucky you for HCAT.
Oh, I know, yeah.
Stan Ossoman's a great guy. It's a great organization. Been around for a while, but now this is the moment. Developing a hydrogen and renewable cars. That's fabulous. That's what we need. Big problem, transportation,
Yes.
big challenge, and those guys can really help. And it's right there in your bailiwick, right?
It is, and there is funding that was passed in this past legislature to set up a fuel cell station near the airport, because the airport is going to be doing hydrogen fuel cell cars.
Yeah. And what we learned there, we can use elsewhere.
Right.
And meet goals, So you're absolutely on the right track to be involved in energy, because I think energy, whatever happens, it's going somewhere. It may go faster or slower than you want, but it's going somewhere. And the policy will get all organized. One of these days, we'll hear from the PUC on the next Air deal. You'll see. It'll happen one way or the other. I mean, they'll make a decision. And we'll have a lot of entrepreneurs involved. And it's a crisscross, don't you think? But the technology that goes into energy tech, technology that goes into, say, app making, it's all connected.
Oh, it has to be.
If I can do it in one scenario, I can do it in another. And you're there to be a common denominator to help them move from one to the other if that's what they want to do.
I think, you already see people working in the energy field with their iPads. So there
True.
are already apps, setting that up. I mean,
Yeah.
everything's done by apps now.
Yeah. So if Hawaii can develop these kinds of, expertises and special little pockets of coding and, successful entrepreneurial companies, we can have another sector. We can have a sector that really competes with tourism and, for that matter, the military. And agriculture is easy. Oh, agriculture. Can you tell me what's going on in agricultural tech?
Oh, there's lots going on. Actually, I'm working with Waihewa Economic Development Board up there. They got funding to do a small ag tech resource center. So they'll be setting that up the next coming years. We're also talking to people in Kauai about some new ag tech going on there. So there's lots going on. In fact, a number of our SBIR companies get funding from USDA to help them in their technology.
Yeah, we do the Hawaii Farmer with Justine Espiritu and Matt Johnson every Thursday at 4 o'clock.
Oh, good.
Every week.
Good.
They're great.
It's fascinating. Ag tech is very important to agriculture.
It's jobs, it's careers, it's families, it's being sustainable, close to the land and all that. Well, we're almost out of time, but I want to leave you an opportunity to talk to the people, Robbie.
Okay.
I'd like you to talk to the kids, okay, who are just coming up and considering what they can do in their lives. And I'd like you to tell them what you think they should do and how you can help them, how HTDC can help them.
So I say entrepreneurship. That's it, because anybody can be an entrepreneur at any age now. And it's great to see what's happening in the high schools. And we're here, we have mentors to help them. We've got the accelerators out here to help them. We've got the makers. We're looking at building makeries in the libraries, local libraries, so kids can go there. So I think there's lots of opportunities, but I think starting your own company is the way to go now, because I think there are lots of opportunities for that.
Think Kohana.
Yes.
Okay, that's Robbie Melton. She's the Executive Director and CEO of HTDC. You can catch her at robbie@htdc.org, and you can look at the website, htdc.org. Thank you so much for coming down,
Thank you,
Robbie.
Jay. Appreciate
Wonderful
it.
to catch up with you this way.
Same.
Aloha. We'll be back with more next time.